So, you're considering teaching your horse to rear. Now, I get it. The trick rear is a spectacular movement. Now, most people are going to tell you it's dangerous and should never be taught to a horse, ever. And I will tell you it can certainly be dangerous, and most people should not teach their horses to rear on cue. I would say more than 99% of equestrians just shouldn't do this. It is my opinion that you should not teach the rear unless you are a professional or you are an extremely confident and capable student working closely with a professional, and not just any horse trainer, but someone who specializes in this type of training. This isn't a movement you want to just watch some YouTube videos and try. That being said, I will share some things you should consider and fundamental aspects of this movement that you should understand if the trick rear is a goal for you. The first question I would ask is the horse mentally ready to learn the rear? If the horse is not confident enough to remain calm while training in a variety of environments, then they aren't ready. If the horse isn't able to switch quickly from high energy training to relaxation, they aren't ready. This is something I practice with Liberty horses as they advance. Can we go from a quick, playful energy to standing calmly and releasing tension? And with a ridden horse, can we go from a powerful hand gallop or a jump line or running around a barrel to a nice walk on a loose rein within a minute or so? These are just a few good tests. Also, do you as the handler honestly have a good intuition and control of your own emotions to be able to help the horse relax and manage their emotions? Be really honest with yourself here and never stop trying to improve in this area. This is one of the most important skills you will develop in your horsemanship and in your life. Something else to consider. Is this horse going to be handled and ridden by just you? Or is there a chance that either now or in the future, this horse is going to be asked to be a beginner's horse? The rear is not a cue you want in a lesson horse's repertoire in most cases. With any horse that is taught power moves like the rear, you want the handler to be aware and confident enough to be able to handle and deal with that should the horse end up in a situation where they are either upset or confused, because there is a chance they could offer up that movement when it is unwanted. Also, honestly assess yourself as a rider. You need to not only be a mentally balanced rider who doesn't get upset by anything your horse throws at you, but you also need to physically have good balance. While I absolutely recommend training the rear from the ground first, if you are teaching the rear, you have to be able to safely ride a rearing horse, just in case your horse does offer it under saddle. Your seat should be completely independent from your hands, even in a chaotic situation. You never ever should pull on a horse's bridle who is rearing, as it can throw the horse off balance and cause them to fall on top of you. This is really dangerous. This actually happened to me when I was 13. To clarify, this was long before I ever did any type of stunt work, and I was not rearing on purpose. I was working directly with a trainer at the time, but unfortunately both myself and the horse were pushed past our comfort zones, and the horse acted out, and I was not skilled enough at the time to avoid pulling on the bridle. Fortunately, we were both okay in the long run, but it was a significant injury. This memory made me wary of any horse who had a tendency to rear for some time, but eventually through training, I gained the confidence and understanding to help the horse balance should an unexpected rear occur. Now, let's talk about the horse's balance. This is so important to understand. Basically, there are two main ways that I see the rear being taught. The first is what I will call the at liberty rear, basically using the horse's forward energy and transferring that upward through a quick halt. And I won't say that there is no value to this method, but I do see a lot of dangerous mistakes when this is the only method used, especially when a proper understanding of the mechanics of the rear haven't first been established. The second method of teaching the rear is the classical method, seen in riding schools such as the Spanish riding school. And that involves slowly building the horse's strength and balance through a variety of exercises such as school halts and other collected movements. This isn't something that is learned quickly by the handler or the horse, but it is something I suggest studying. It will be worthwhile to your training for both the rear and for other movements. In the Spanish riding school, the passade and levade are taught as collection exercises, which help prepare for other airs above the ground. Learning these exercises involves an understanding of the engagement of the core muscles, the lowering of the hindquarters, and the flexion of the leg joints. Horses that learn these extremely balanced versions of the rear are incredibly safe to ride due to their superior body control. Personally, I have used a combination of the At Liberty rear and the Spanish riding school methods in my training. Some people have asked me to make a video on this, and while I do plan to do this eventually, it will likely be a part of a future paid training course, as this is a movement for dedicated students. Feel free to leave your questions and comments below, and I will do my best to answer them. Are you serious about learning Liberty with your horse? Why don't you join me for the Foundations of Liberty Training Starter Course, where you and your horse will learn the fundamental building blocks necessary for creating your own language at Liberty. The lessons in this course are broken down into quick and easy to understand exercises that build your connection with your horse, one step at a time. Accessible to almost every horse and handler, these lessons will establish good basics that can set you up for success for more complex movements and tricks later on, so you can accomplish even your biggest goals with your horse. For a limited time, this online course is on sale for a little less than the average cost of a private lesson. You can start your Liberty training today by following the link in the description below.